We are on Standard 8, and we'll move to our first guided question. How does an effective leader create and sustain positive, collaborative, and productive relationships with families and the community for the benefit of students? And I think that this is becoming a real strength of our school, which is the areas of communication between the website and all of the various WeChat groups and our email practices and our conferences and the continued growth of our counseling office, which has become a really big, a fast growing strength of our school in communicating with parents. We just finished our conferences, and I had several parents talk about the counseling office being very clear and very good source of guiding principles of our school, which was really, really great to hear. How does an effective leader engage in regular, open, two-way communication with families and communities about school students' needs, problems, and accomplishments? Well, we communicate a lot through Power School in identifying, issues that may be going on, with feedback that we can leave for parents and students. We use our website, we use email. Module 37 that I looked at had to do with problems and our plans at school for not only for risk assessment, but what do we do with emergency protocols. That was extremely informative. We use our WeChat groups to communicate any problems that we may have, going all the way back to when we had an earthquake, to when we've had snow and ice and other issues. And then, I really, in talking to different people, it seems like our website, led by our Mac office, and their communication on WeChat is also very much the strength of our school. How does an effective leader develop and provide the school as a resource for families and community? Our parent academy with Dr. Canada has been very successful. We also communicate through the different areas of our school. Our sports and athletics department communicates very well. Same with our drama department. We communicate well with registration, and any needs that parents might have are very open to communicate with us in that regard. We offer bilingual support for parents who may be not up to level with English. They can feel very much a part of our community. And again, our counseling office has been a really growing support and a real outlet resource for parents who have questions about college applications, SAT testing, um, registration, where they, transferring from one school to another. Very much a great resource for parents. How does the candidate understand, value, and employ the community's culture, social, intellectual, and political resources to promote student learning and school improvement? Well, the exit of COVID really opened the door for us to come back together as a community, and we have really taken that on. We have embraced our cultural events with Chinese New Year, International Day, and other holidays as well. Alumni, we have really the creation of the Creativity Hub has allowed us to bring former students and business leaders into our school to offer inspiration and guidance to our students. We've started to really open up to field trips. Our Asian studies classes have gone places. Model UN has gone places. Our sports teams have really started to travel. And, we bring our international community into it as well. We bring in our business leaders, our parent support group. It's been a real strength for us, and I'm very excited about where we are going with our community. We just had an event we call Wingo, where we bring our staff and our community together, and that was equally successful. So, comments?
Yeah, I would say building beyond the classroom and making cultural connections, business connections is something that was an area for growth
Hmm.
that we've done a good job in the last couple of years. I think part of having the bilingual school has allowed us to have contacts that before were not appropriate for an international school. And so now we've never were able to have competitions with the local schools
Mm.
um, until we had the bilingual school, and then that became politically okay.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the groups that have come in since then, um, we would have never had that opportunity. We had students that presented at the art university recently for their HOSA competition. And those are connections that, as long as we've been here, were things that didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to really utilize Principal Joe and her connections
Mm-hmm.
has really been really good for the school. And we've always had lots of opportunities and resources for students, but now the building of community partners is
Mm-hmm.
something that has really grown.
Kind of leveraging our community strengths.
Mhm. So that's really been really good. And then the parent education um, with Dr. Kenna and our MAC team, like there is probably something every other week
Mm.
where parents are being communicated on a variety of different
Mm-hmm.
things, whether it's opportunities, whether it's how we run our academic program, whether it's how to be a better parent,
Mm-hmm.
how to communicate with kids like that. That's something that has definitely continued to grow and become a strength, is the programming to make sure that our parents understand who we are, because they have a perception of who we are. And the community, the greater community, has an idea of who we are, but they really don't know what we're about.
Mm-hmm.
And so um, I would say over the last 2 years, we have less questions about scheduling, less questions about AP registration, those kinds of things,
Mm-hmm.
because we have made sure that our parents are informed and understand, we're not an AP school. We're an American school with an American diploma, with AP as an option. Our focus is the school-wide learner outcomes, that we're not just about college prep.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where they come for, because that's the reputation says, I go here, I can get into a good school. But our vision is not about getting into a good school. It's about creating global citizens who can go anywhere and be successful. Success sometimes means getting into a top university,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't always mean that.
Right.
And so I think those two things, especially embedded within this standard, are definitely things we do quite well. And then I think our advisory committee that you've been serving on has really been putting that in the forefront. Like that's
Yeah.
really become a true focus. Um, and even from my WASC visit last week in Bangkok, like the thing that schools struggle with across the world, school-wide learner outcomes, global competencies,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so the great work that your team is doing,
Mm-hmm.
and bringing that to the forefront, making sure everyone knows what it is, we know how it's being assessed,
Mm-hmm.
we know where it lives. That's really good work.
Yeah, and it grows incrementally. It doesn't, we wish it would grow, kind of in a linear way, like, that 1 and 1 equals 2, but that doesn't, change at school is very hard to,
It's like moving a huge barge.
yeah, it really is. Well, thank you for your time.
Yes.